Okay. So come on in, take a sip. Let's wind down. We have ourselves a Wednesday Guardian crossword to get through today, and it is going to be a joy because I'm sure I'm going to learn a ton out of it. And we're doing it today with what turned out to be a minor flap from recording the New York Times grid just moments ago. I just poured this wine for the first time. This is a 2022 Catalunya. It's a Criado in Barrica. It's a Merlot Tempranillo blend. It's a dry wine. You'll never see me doing a sweet one. It would be rarity. And on the nose, it just has everything that you'd expect, with the exception of a lot of like an alcohol vapor. It's just like you can smell the alcohol on it. To a great extent, though. And I had the same thing happen on the palate, which is now no longer the case because I actually aerated it. I ran it through my aerator. It's a 2022, and it's probably just been cooped up for an awful long time. Just needed a little bit of oxygen to kind of open it up and let it breathe. And I'm convinced of that because I was not too terribly happy with it. I referred to it in the New York Times solve as a drinkable, yet not necessarily desirable wine. And now I think we have bridged that gap. It is not only drinkable, it is desirable. So if you see this wine and you want to give it a shot because you like Spanish wines, then by all means you should get it. But I would say definitely run it through an aerator, or let it breathe for a bit before you pour it. And I would also suggest maybe a bit of temperature. This is straight up room temperature, probably 70 degrees right now, which is about the average Fahrenheit temperature within the flat here during the winter time. So, which is just comfortable for sleeping and everything. 70 is kind of perfect, The bedroom gets a bit cooler at night because I crack the windows, but that's how that goes, right? But again, not a bad wine. Great with tapas, barbecue, sweet and sour, just about anything, but definitely savory, or maybe that spicy, the sweet and spicy, sweet and sour, something like that would go really well with it. Yep. I'll stand on those two legs now. All right. Let's hop into our grid. Let's see what we got here today. All right, so we are on our quick crossword, the Guardian 17-71. So I'm going to very carefully put the mouse in here at 5 across, and we'll see what we can go from there, and then gently move away. Only using the arrows to get around today now. Okay, apple variety with a 6 and a 5. This is just, I can't think of anything else. I'm going to go with a Granny Smith. And tooth. I don't know just yet. Taxing. I may never know. So taxing could be onerous. Onerous. Yeah, we're not spelling words in Kansas anymore, Toto. No, we're not. Okay, means of obtaining reduced transport fares. Knowing what I know of the UK, having spent so much of my life there in comparison to other countries I've visited, I would say probably a rail card. I got to the point where I was up there so often that I thought about at one point getting a rail card and just staying at my hotel in Dover. So I loved it. I always got the sea view right there on the floor right above the ground. And yeah, I guess the first floor, because the bottom is said. Anyway, I thought about doing it, just taking the train every day, but then I thought, oh, well, I got to go all the way up to Cambridgeshire, or I got to go all the way over to Oxfordshire. It's gonna be a ride, so might as well just drive and get a room there. But thought about getting a rail card. We'll see if I'm right now. Out of bed, maybe a stir. And small herring like fish. Ah, man, I hope that comes to me. It's like, is that a... Pilchard. All fits. Clothes horse could be a dandy. I love that word because if I could have been born in any year of my choosing, I would have chosen 1930. That would have had me out of undergraduate by 1951, 52. I mean, I could have hung out with, you know, all of the beatnik poets, you know, the great Beat Generation poets and stuff. Oh, I'd have loved that. Kerouac, Ginsberg, just running around. And I would have been a dandy. I would have worn tuxedos with sandals. I would have had a ponytail. Oh, there's no question about it. So an appetizer, I guess it'd be an hors d'oeuvre. And this is one of those words that I just do not do well with. D'oeuvre. Okay, hors d'oeuvre. I don't remember. Yeah, appetizer, 4 and 7. Okay, look. It's just not one of those words that I've ever spelled correctly. I don't really know. Oral exam. Old stringed instrument. U.S. National Park, 1 word, 11 letters. I can't really imagine this be anything other than Yellowstone. I can't imagine anyway, so this could be a viola. A viol. Plunge. Blurred. Okay, blurred at 7. 14 over 7. I mean, I don't know, but I think this might be smudged, but it would need to be an E here. So what have I done wrong? Oh, first of all, I put 2 D's in. Okay, so let's just try this all over again. O-E-U-V-R-E. I'm gonna be toppled by an appetizer. Okay, I can at least make smudged work now. Oral exam. Is this a VIVA? Okay, plunge, maybe immerse. And small details. At 8, I'm just going to go with minutiae. Unimportant could be minor. Founder of the Fifth Republic, 2 and 6, and that would be de Gaulle. All right, so use excessive embellishment. Let me get a couple more things. I think that maybe gilding the lily, but promote, stopper could be to plug. Tooth. Okay, how about a fang? I was hoping something would come across that would help. Yeah, I think this may be. Is this an H here? Sports ground? Yeah, or I'm sorry. Yeah, is this a stadium? Okay, never mind. Okay, I'm just trying to figure out what to do here. Oh my lord. And living barrier, non-committal statement. Okay, well, it's definitely something I know something about. Driving through the English countryside, you know, the hedges, living barriers. I like that. So I think this is gild the lily. And we use the phrase similarly in the US, but I've heard it more often than not being used to relieve yourself on, like on in a garden or in the woods or something, you know. So yeah, but that's okay. Okay, I don't know. I don't know. The thing is, I don't know. What I don't know and what was a total guess here is VIVA. I have no idea. So that may be the source of my downfall, or just not knowing how to spell hors d'oeuvre. But otherwise, I feel pretty good about everything else. I just do not feel good at all about hors d'oeuvre, and the oral exam and VIVA make no sense to me whatsoever. So that was a guess, and that, even if I'm right, will definitely be the reason for my YANKSLAP today. So go ahead and do a check all. We do them a couple of times. I just don't trust it because it doesn't give me a noise or any confirmation that it checked, right? You know, like nothing. So I always feel like keep on doing it, you know. So it looks like if I had just known what a VIVA was, I mean, we're talking Spanish for live, right? Long live. I mean, oral exam. So, yeah, if you have any insight on this one, anybody, you know, I always have really great feedback from Neil and Krishna, but yeah, I don't. This is a tough one. I don't have a clue, but otherwise, I came close to a W. I'll say that much. If it just were a little bit less, whatever it is. So let's bring down our Bannier Dadu and get rid of this all stuff. This was just great. As always, I can't wait to learn from this grid every single day. And while I have yet to learn from it today, I know I'm going to. One of you will brighten my world with this little bit of knowledge, or I can just look it up and see how what I find is the same as what I'm told potentially by you. But otherwise, it is just a genuine pleasure. So thanks to everybody for liking and subscribing and just being so supportive in that way. I cannot tell you how much I appreciate every single bit of it. So thank you. And until we see you tomorrow for the Thursday Guardian, ich wünsche Ihnen einen schönen Tag noch. Auf Wiedersehen. Tschüss. Servus. Grüß Gott. Ciao. Cin-Cin. Be well to yourselves. Be friends and your family, all that stuff. Your family good too. I mean, especially, you don't have to like them. And most of the time you don't. But you can and should love them, right? But always be super generous to the person behind you in the queue, as I know only the British can do so very well. So we'll see you tomorrow. Be well. Take care.